Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down the absolutely incredible journey of a guy who went from collecting trash to collecting massive wealth. And maybe even more importantly, we're going to look at how his whole philosophy can help you do the same thing.
Yep, you heard that right. This is the story of Myron Golden. He's a pretty well-known business consultant now, but he literally started his career as a garbage collector. And from there, he became a multimillionaire, all by mastering sales, marketing, and, the whole idea of wealth creation.
Okay, so the big question is, how? How does somebody make a leap that huge? Well, the answer isn't just work harder. No, it's about a complete total shift in how you think about money, about value, and even about yourself. So let's dive into that first and honestly most crucial shift.
All right, so the first big breakthrough for him, he calls it the great mindset shift. And it's all about moving away from the idea of just earning a wage to really, truly building wealth. And that one little distinction, trust me, as we're about to see, it changes everything.
So for Golden, hearing this quote from the speaker, Jim Rohn, it was a total light bulb moment. He suddenly got it. The path to real wealth wasn't about getting paid more for his time. It was about creating more value that he could offer to other people.
And this slide, I think, just lays it out perfectly. There are two paths, right? Over on the left, you've got that classic belief, time is money. And that, he says, is a trap. It just gets you trading your life away for a paycheck. But then on the right, that's the wealthy mindset. And it's knowing that time is actually way more valuable than money. And when you believe that, it frees you up to get creative, to solve problems, to make offers. And that is the real engine of wealth.
You know, he didn't just come up with this stuff on his own out of nowhere. He learned these principles through what he calls proximity. It's about getting close to successful people, whether that means reading their books, listening to their talks, or going to their events. And what he realized is the access to all this knowledge, it's already there for all of us. We just have to wake up and realize we can actually tap into it. Okay, so he's got this new mindset about building wealth. The next step? He turned his focus to mastering the #1 skill in business, sales. But, and this is the really interesting part, his approach to what he calls the art of persuasion, well, it's the exact opposite of what most of us think of when we hear the word selling.
And this right here, this is the key to his whole sales philosophy. He's convinced that the single biggest mistake most people make is trying to convince someone to do something. You know that pushy, kind of gross feeling? That's what he's talking about. It's just an ineffective strategy that makes people put up a wall.
So instead of trying to convince people, he's all about persuasion. And for him, persuasion isn't some kind of sneaky, manipulative tactic. No way. It's actually a form of service. It's all about finding people who already have a problem you can solve and then just helping them make a decision they were already leaning toward anyway. What I love about this slide is how it just shows you these two ideas are total opposites. Look at the left side. Convincing, that's selfish. It's all about what you want for your reasons. But persuasion, over on the right, that's about helping. It's about helping someone get what they want for their reasons. Making that mental shift, that's the secret sauce. That's how you get great at sales without ever feeling like a sleazy salesperson.
But all of this, it builds on something even deeper, a core foundation. Because underneath the mindset, underneath the sales skills, lies the real engine of his success. And that's this profound understanding of the difference between who you are and where you are.
Golden says this is why so many people get stuck and can't move forward. They look around at their circumstances, their job, their bank account, their neighborhood, and they make a huge mistake. They think that where they are is who they are. They believe their temporary situation is some kind of permanent reflection of their identity.
So he explains this concept he calls the flow of reality, and it's so simple but so powerful. Check it out. It all starts with your identity. That's who you fundamentally believe you are. That identity then drives your activity, which is just, the actions you take every day, and those actions in turn create your property, which is just a fancy word for the results you get in your life. So if you want to change your results, you can't just focus on the results. You have to go all the way back to the beginning. You have to change your identity. And all of this whole journey, the mindset shift, the art of persuasion, the power of identity, it all leads to the final and, you could argue, the most important piece of Myron Golden's entire philosophy. And that's getting a handle on what true wealth, wealth that goes way beyond just money, is actually all about.
So here's the crucial point. Money is just a tool. It's not the goal. Real fulfillment, the kind of wealth that actually makes life feel meaningful,
That's built on these 3 pillars. First up is creation. You were made to create something of value. Then comes connection. You got to share that creation with other people. And finally, contribution. Serving others, especially people who can't pay you back. That right there, that's the formula for a genuinely rich life.
And the key that unlocks this whole thing, according to Golden, is a really deep sense of gratitude. He truly believes that everything, our skills, the opportunities we get, even just the ability to work hard, it's all a gift. And when you recognize that, it doesn't just keep you humble, it actually opens you up to receive even more. So we'll leave you with this final thought. Because the journey from trash man to cash man, when you really break it down, it's not actually about the cash. It's about discovering that unique value you were put here to create and to share with the world. It's about finding your purpose.